morning, and welcome back to another positive breakthrough morning motivation with me, Alexandra Streisand, a certified and professional confidence and relationship coach. Today's quote is, "The fears we don't face become our limits." Now let that sink in for a second. The fears we don't face become our limits. Now, when I really dissect that quote and I start to think of what comes up for me, the first thing is really working with my clients around breaking through their fears because of the amount of things that are limited in their life due to these fears. And now what I mean by that is that these fears, the more we give power to them, the stronger they become and the more they hold us back from stepping forward into our power and into our life so we're able to accomplish the goals that we have set for ourselves. So maybe that is in our careers, maybe it's wanting to communicate a project with a boss, maybe it's wanting more authority at work, maybe it's switching roles at work, maybe it's changing careers to begin with. Maybe it's communication within our relationship or with ourselves around our insecurities or our self-doubts or the judgment that we put on ourselves and others. Fears can come in so many different forms and in so many different ways, but in order for us to stop allowing them to really limit us and limit the things in our life, we need to actually shine some light on them and make them more powerless. And how we do that is by first looking at the fear and naming it, really asking ourselves, what is this fear, right? Is it a fear of failure, a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of discomfort and just not knowing what direction to go in? Is it a fear of moving forward? Is it a fear of the unknown, right? Like really naming what is that fear. And then once we name what that fear is, we want to now write it down on a piece of paper. So this is a great time. Take out a pen and paper, click pause for a second, and write down what are 3 fears that you've been experiencing. And I know with the pandemic going on, there are a lot of more fears coming up for us in ways that we've never experienced before because this is totally new to all of us and something that none of us really prepared for or even knew how to prepare for. So I want you to write down those 3 fears. Then next to them, once you write down that fear, so for example, let's say the fear is, I'm feeling isolated and stuck inside. And the reason that fear comes up is because maybe we are, stuck in our houses and we are limited in where we can go and what we can do during this pandemic. But rather than looking at it as, oh my God, I'm stuck inside and I have nowhere to go and nothing that I can do and this is so out of my routine, let's start to reframe it. And what I mean by reframing is really shifting our mindset so we can find the opportunity and the positive outcome in whatever challenge we are facing. So no matter how negative a situation is, there is always an opportunity that we can get out of it and a learning lesson and a ways for us to grow to move forward powerfully. And I know that may be hard to see at first, but when you start to work through these fears, you start to understand them in a whole new way that allows us to really take our power back and not allow them to stop us, allow us to feel stuck or limited in the things that we're doing. So now once you have that fear down of, I'm feeling stuck and isolated inside, this is just an example, then the reframe would be, I am in a space of solitude and am thankful that I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful that I'm in a space that is safe and secure that I can feel at home in, right? And this is a really powerful shift because we go from feeling isolated and stuck and limited to all of a sudden looking at it as like, no, this is my power. I'm actually really thankful and grateful that I have a roof over my head, that I have a place to still be creative, to still have fun in, and to still feel safe and secure in, right? Like there's so many things that we can do with our space. And if we just shift the way that we see it and shift the way that we're looking at it, we can feel such a shift in our energy that really allows our mindset to start focusing on other things and release that sense of anxiety, stress, and isolation. So what I want you guys to do now is write down the 3 fears that have been coming up for you during this pandemic or just in general. And then what I want you to do is write down the reframe or the new opportunity or positive mindset in the fear and start to shift it. And now I want you, once you write those 3 down, take a step back, look at your list and say, okay, when I look at this fear, what are the emotions that I'm feeling? Is it this discomfort? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it sadness? Whatever that fear is, recognize it. And then what I want you to do is now I want you to shift your mind to the other side of the paper where you did those reframes and ask yourself the same question. What are the emotions that I'm feeling? Am I feeling lighter, happier, more at ease, relieved? Whatever those emotions are, you're going to notice that the reframe and seeing the opportunity in these fears is going to feel a little bit lighter and feel better for you. And if it doesn't yet, that's okay, because if you're new to this, then it's something that we have to really start working on and creating a habit around. But for those of you who are comfortable with reframing, this should be something that just creates a lightness and ease for you. So once we then have that, what we want to do is start taking that into our daily life and start using that moving forward. When a fear comes up or a discomfort comes up, starting to reframe it and stop allowing it to limit us, but rather create a limitless feeling. The more we face our fears, the more we get in front of them, the more we confront them, the easier they are to overcome and to handle. So please comment below. I would love to hear the 3 fears that came up for you today, as well as how you reframed them. If you're having difficulty, no problem at all. I'm here to help support, motivate you, and inspire you. So please just let me know below that you are having some difficulty and I will help walk you through it. As always, thank you so much for spending your time and energy with me. I appreciate your support so much, and I'm hoping you have an incredible day. I will see you on my next Positive Breakthrough Morning Motivation, and looking forward to having your support once again. Thanks so much.